idea of the depth of sports sedans here for this afternoon's roust at Winton. Local boy Brian Thompson from Shepparton in the number 17. Kenworth sponsored not so standard Supra.
There was a bad accident here in qualifying for this race late yesterday, and Barney Newbound put his car in the fence and was pretty badly banged up. He's in Wangaratta Hospital, but in a satisfactory condition, a punctured lung and a couple of broken ribs, but otherwise he's okay.
It's good to know that he's on the mend. We're about 15 seconds away from the start, and watch the acceleration of Dick Ward's car if he can light up those tyres off the line. White Horse Truck Parts present the sports sedans from Winton Motor Raceway. Rip, 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 and they've almost stopped. They've bogged them down, but Ward gets away. Beninca, I thought, left half the clutch and the lining on the start line, but he's got away in the second spot as they go into the first turn. Keith Carling washes off the racetrack out onto the mulga out there and drops back about 6 spots as they come out of the second turn now, with Dick Ward leading from pole sitter Beninca. That's the order as they go into the next left-hander. Jolly also there, and Keith Carling has pulled up against the wall after being caught out on the grass there. He's underway now. There's the order. There's Keith Carling, as I was mentioning, in the Toledo Tools entry. He's found some terra firma. Renews the tarmac attack now. That Mazda wasn't going very far, let me tell you, on the grass. So Dick Ward of Western Australia, who sat on pole for the race, for the RX-7, now starts to scoot down the back straight. Dominic Beninca in second spot in the Alpha. The minis are being hosed off just a little bit.
Looks like Greg Crick, is it, in third spot? Car 36. No, just got past.
Down to the prime TBSs now and back onto the start finishing straight for the completion of the first lap. Dick Ward and Beninca not too far back behind him. Then it's Daylight back to third.
Thompson through to third place. Yep. Yeah, then Greg Crick in fourth.
That's how they attack the right-hander at the end of this very, very short straight. Then it's a downhill run, an equally tight corner there as they exit there. Crick over Thompson, but as soon as they hit a bit of straightaway, Thompson manages to get away.
Bob Jolly already up to 5th position in the Commodore, and Robbie Burns in 6th place.
There goes the scrap for 3rd place. Being held down at the moment by Brian Thompson. Greg Crick in 4th, and we'll catch for you then the dice back behind the 4th place getter. That's Bob Jolly running in 5th. Very, very well turned out Commodore. Actually, the weather, if anything, starting to break just a little at Winton. That'll be good news for Crick. And up front, Dick Ward, who has Dominic Beninca very, very close to him as they come through the S's. There's Bob Jolly, who I mentioned, running 5th at the moment, just ahead of Robbie Burns. Aha, back in the lead. It really is very, very tight indeed as they go to the first corner. With Dominic Beninca and Dick Ward, that's getting very close. Jolly and Robbie Burns are side by side. Jolly trying to get across to the right-hand side of the circuit. Manages to do just that. We'll keep an eye on the front runners as they move through the S's and up towards the top end of the circuit. This is where the dice is for 5th spot on the racetrack at the moment.
Bob Jolly, Robbie Burns, didn't he write poetry?
Nothing to write home about today.
Oh, the weather's not, certainly.
He's running 5th at the moment in that BMW. Their little dice continues. It's been an interesting one.
Lost ground there.
Yep.
Burns, as he came out of that corner, just got a little tail out.
Need to be a deplorable type of machine to run here in the wet at Winton. The track's so tight and so much horsepower, and it wet. But this is how close Beninca got last lap through, and he tries to squeeze him out. He may have him this time, but Ward gets away under sheer horsepower, and Beninca tries to close it up under brakes. But very interesting tussle last lap, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dick Ward is almost in a constant wheel spin down these short straights, because Beninca can get close to him.
3 laps completed, and they're lapping in around 1 minute 58.14. And the lap record here for these cars is 58.8 seconds. So you can see the difference under these conditions. In fact, that lap record, 58.8, has been held by Tony Edmondson since 1984.
Once again, Dick Ward and Dominic Beninca go at it for first and second. Right behind them, Brian Thompson starting to make some inroads now. You might catch sight of him as we watch them coming down the back straight. You'll see Thompson's just starting to come through frame now. There he is. If he can get a run at them, it will make life very interesting for Dominic Beninca and Dick Ward. Just listen to this, the Mazda. He has it sideways as he comes out of the next turn. Oops. One of the guys spun out there. That really upset the apple cart of Dominic Beninca.
We're just past the halfway mark. 4 down, 4 to go.
So Ward and the Go Gear Mazda, co-sponsor there by Castrol. They passed car number 38.
You're looking down the list to find who it is? So am I. I can't find it. Oh, Rod Middleton.
Now it's getting most interesting for Ward because he's got lap cars just about everywhere. Beninca closes up yet again as they go up to the top end of the circuit just near Penrite. Oh, he was very much sideways, got a wheel out there just on the dirt. Thompson still hanging in there in third.
Greg Crick fourth still, followed by car number 7, Rob Burns.
Now they approach the back straight. Beninca not so close this time, down to the S's. Now if he just gets this right, Beninca, and gets himself positioned on the inside as they come out of this corner. You notice Ward's thing goes into sheer wheel spin. Jumps up, hoots and hollers and does everything there in a straight line, and Beninca closes underneath, but he really needs to get an inside run.
Well, he's going to have a big go because there's only a couple of laps left in which to do it.
Dominic's doing a good job here, challenging. Coming up on another couple of slower cars now.
Yes, the slower cars can actually decide this race the way it's going. Walk one or the other.
The last thing Dick needs to do is to get that Mazda sideways and just let it sit there and wheel spin because Beninca just closes up all the time. Once again, they move to the back straight. Now, Beninca is as close as he possibly could be, sits in behind.
Loses out in the straight line, closes up again under brakes, coming towards the S's.
Coming up on a couple of slower cars, this will be very interesting. Now, Dick tries to position himself on the inside. Beninca is as close as he could possibly be now if he just tucks it back on the inside. And that's where he is. But at the same time, Ward was passing the driver in car number 20.
1 lap to go. I think that was his best chance. I don't think he'll get another one.
No, I think you're right, Gary. Down that short chute to the next right-hander. Ward just tucks it in, tries to cover the racetrack, cover his tracks. They've still got a few lap cars to deal with before they get round to the checkered flag. Once again, Beninca. Hey!
Oh, he's got him. I'll be blown.
In more ways than one. 31 had already been lapped, just took sheer fright.
Sean Donnelly off the outside of the track.
Well, that was always on the cards, I guess.
Ward has recovered his mobile again, but out of contention now.
Yeah, it was just a mild little tap, but it was enough to unsettle Dick Ward. There's Ward, you can see, but he's had to deal now with Brian Thompson, and Thompson's coming screaming down the inside of him. They're into the just about the last corner, and Dominic Beninca, who had to play the waiting game. Oops, there's problems for Dick Ward. He spun out in the last corner, and checkered flag about to come out for Dominic Beninca. He gets a huge cheer here from the spectators.
Brian Thompson will get second, and Ward hangs on for third.
He says, what have you got to do to get a win at Winton? But that was a very interesting, fun-filled sports sedan race for White Horse Truck Parts. Dominic Beninca is the race winner in the Alfa Romeo. Brian Thompson finishes second. And Dick Ward of Western Australia finishes third. They're the positions on our Caltex race score.